So the number one test failure is failing to make effective observations at junctions. So here, I've come up to this junction, I've got to check both ways before I pull out to make sure it's clear. There's absolutely nothing coming, so I'm going to pull it out. You've got to do that on all junctions of all types. That includes roundabouts and it also includes dual carriageways. So on the approach to the junctions that you're coming up to, you've got to check your mirrors, you've got to put your signal on, you've got to slow down appropriately. When you get to the junction itself, you must make sure it's clear in both directions in order to pull out. That means you must make effective observations both to the left and to the right to make sure there's nothing coming either way. So I'm about to come up to another junction here. I'm checking my mirrors, I'm putting my signal on, and I'm approaching. Now you can see this junction is really blind, you can't see anything at all. So you've got to make your way up to it, absolutely check it's clear in both directions, and that includes the possibility that somebody could be coming along the wrong side of the road. So if there was a bicycle, for example, they might be on your side of the road as they come up to the junction that you're pulling out of. Now, we're now approaching a dual carriageway slip road. Now this is not like a lot of dual carriageway slip roads, which is fast and wide and easy to enter. This is very short. So on the approach, I'm coming up to it, making sure there's a potential gap and there's very heavy traffic, but there's a large gap here, so now I'm going to accelerate. I've put my signal on and I'm bringing it out to a large gap. You've got to give way on slip roads when you come out. It's not your right of way to pull onto the road. So you've got to make sure that you do effective observations in order to see whether you can pull out onto the road safely. So there, because the slip road is so short and this is such a busy road, I made sure that there was a gap that I could actually pull out into and accelerate into before even attempting to come around there and bring the car onto the road. Now in some cases you'll often see people come onto very short slip roads like that. They quite literally come round at speed and just shoot straight out into the traffic, making people brake, almost causing an accident. That is not the way it has to be done. So if you're on a driving test and you were to pull out in front of people, whether it's out of a normal junction in a town, a T junction, whether it's onto a roundabout or onto a dual carriageway, and you fail to give way properly, you fail to make effective observations, then you will get a serious fault on a driving test.